Hello everyone. This is Ana Hawryluk, creator of Mario Kart GB. Um, Mario Kart GB is my first ever video game. I am recording this through OBS, so apologies if it is bad or something. I don't know. We'll see. The audio is being picked up natively through OBS too, so hopefully it works. But yeah, Mario Kart GB is my first ever video game. And this is like a developer commentary where I talk about it. Um, yeah, music was made by Paul. Proper crediting will be in the description, and it is at the end of this recording where I show the credits of the video game, because I put credits in the video game, of course. Yeah, anyway, you'll be hearing Paul's music of the entire project. It's incredible. I love the work that this person has done. Big fan of their work. If you, like I said, proper crediting is in the description. Anyway, yeah, let's get started. So this game originally came to. I originally wanted to make this game when I first learned about the program GB Studio. GB Studio is what I made this game in. It's essentially a tool that can allow you to create a game that could run on a Game Boy, like natively. With just like on your computer, just like anytime, and you don't even need coding skills to be able to do it. It works like Scratch. It's essentially drag and drop. Although I think it's easier to make like your own sprites and stuff like this for GB Studio. But in any case, that's what the idea came from. It also came from the bottom screen of Mario Kart DS. I really wanted the game where the gameplay felt like the bottom screen gameplay of Mario Kart DS, but like it was built around that. You know, in Mario Kart DS, the gameplay, it's kind of wonky if you just play with the bottom screen, because it wasn't built around that. You know, it wasn't built to facilitate that kind of gameplay. So it feels a little wonky. So I made this game. You can see I programmed in items. The items are kind of wonky. Sometimes you go farther, sometimes you go slower than you're supposed to. Not slower, but you don't go as far. I don't really know what the thought process there. I mean, okay, I don't really know why it does that. That's just a Game Boy Studio thing that I don't really understand. It might just be because it's, you know, a Game Boy. Yeah. Wind music is very good. Big fan. Just let the music play a little bit. Anyway. There's Mario. So yeah, a little checkpoint. Oh, is my mouse on screen? Uh-oh, that's not good. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna... whatever. I don't actually know if my mouse is on screen. We'll find out. It'll be fun. It'll be a little thing. Anyway, so yeah, Mumu Farm, the stage we just saw, that was the first stage I designed for this. I designed that back before I really knew what this project was going to be. Like, I knew I wanted to do all those things I just described, but I didn't know if I was actually going to make a full game out of it. I just designed Mumu Farm, so I was like, well, you know, it's an easy stage to make, you know, one stage out of, so we'll see what comes of it. And eventually I made the rest of the game. Ghost Valley 2 is the other stage created very early on. So these two stages were both created very early on. Mumu Farm was created before I really knew if I was actually going to finish this project. Ghost Valley, by the time I was making Ghost Valley, I already knew this was going to be a thing. This was going to be a proper thing that I had made. And I would have 4 stages, and it would be a whole thing. So yeah, at this point in development, I knew what I was making. You can see, I think the graphics are significantly better in this. I think it just looks very aesthetic. Or you get the ghost aesthetics a lot better than you do like the cow aesthetics in stage 1 in Mumu Farm. Personally, I think Ghost Valley is a significant increase in quality over N64 Mumu Farm. Next we have Wii Coconut Mall. So those first 2 stages, those were made like, I don't even know, a month ago now. The other 2 were made like last week, or like 2 weeks ago. They were made fairly recently. They're like the big hitter stages. Wii Coconut Mall is the first one. This stage was originally supposed to be 2 distinct screens, but that ended up being like too much power for the program to handle or something, because my game crashed and I lost a significant amount of data, and I didn't want to risk that happening again, so I just decided to just make it 1 screen. In hindsight, honestly, that was probably the best choice. Like, that was probably the superior option, because I think this honestly works really well as 1 screen. You see the little cars driving by. I made sure to have them drive, so, you know, it's better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Rainbow Road, or better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's original version of Coconut Mall. Remix goes crazy. The boost panel just did not work there. I don't know why it does that. I really don't understand, but sometimes they just don't work. Yeah, so like I said, that stage was made very recently. That was the last stage I made for the game, because I wanted it to be special, and it really was. I like how I stuck to the layout pretty nicely, and it turned out really well. Yeah, so now you'll see we unlocked Rainbow Road. You can see the text box is kind of pushing up against the stage layout, or the stage lineup, but, you know, it's whatever. Yeah. Rainbow Road. So yeah, this is the final track in the video game of the 4. This is a very unique track. There are multiple things about this that really push the game to its limits. And now I'm gonna take a moment. I'm not gonna worry about winning, so I can show off the lose screen, and also so I can show how some of this works. So like, you see, you fall off here, and it puts you back on the stage. That's what it's supposed to do. Does that, you know, everywhere you might fall off. That's consistent. Fun thing about this. Oh, also, these are supposed to be chain chomps. These are supposed to look like the chain chomps from Mario Kart 64. Right around where you pass here. It's most of the walls in this are objects that push you in like that, and because you put triggers to cause things, and I did put triggers for a lot of these, but ultimately you just get too many. They're just not. You don't have enough triggers available. So, well, I'll keep talking after. Just letting the lose music play a little bit. Anyway, I'll keep explaining when we get back on the stage. Yeah, so all the ones that are... So here, let me demonstrate something. You can tell it's an object because the other racer keeps going. The other racer will keep driving if it's an object that you run into. Like, that's an object I ran into, and the other racer keeps going. If it's a trigger, the other racer does not keep going. But I used, like, literally every available object and trigger possible to create this. So, you see here, there's some more things. I had to make sure the bottom line was... None of them ran on the bottom line so that the opponent would not get hit. Yeah, the opponent was kind of designed... Okay, man, there's so much to talk about. I'm gonna take another loss so I can talk a little bit more. Let me finish explaining how the objects work. So, when you get a certain distance in the race, you pass through a trigger, and that trigger point moves every single object that was previously being used to every single object in the game that's listed as one to facilitate what happens when you fall off of the stage. So it moves all of those objects to new positions. I'm trying to find one that isn't an object, show you what happens. So look, the opponent stops there. That's because this is a trigger. There's not really anything I can do about that. It's just what happens. I kind of fucked up here, okay. Oh yeah, so here's where things get, crazy. We're gonna reset again. So yeah, that's how the objects work. You pass through certain triggers, and it moves all the objects. It moves all those objects in the stage. It's complicated. It took a long time to get the programming to work properly, but it's cool. It was worth it. It was worth it. I mean, it works. Functionally, it works very well. Yeah, so part of the design choices for this stage was I wanted to incorporate elements of multiple different Rainbow Roads. So it's the music from the GameCube Rainbow Road. It has the Chain Chomps from N64, and it has thwomps and boost panels from Super Mario Kart. Those are all the ones I included, but you know, that's pretty cool still. Yeah, you want to save your mushroom for right there, so you can win. Yeah. Anything else we could talk about? Oh, the enemy AI. Okay, so it's not really enemy AI, but like the AI for the opponent. It's not AI. It's scripted movements. It's like the AI can only move in the exact way that it's programmed to move in. So every time you replay a race, the enemy will move in the exact same way. You also cannot interact with the enemy, and the enemy cannot interact with you. That's why the only item I programmed is a mushroom, because I can't do like a shell or whatever, and a star is... that would be too complicated to program in properly. So yeah, that's why the only item is a mushroom. Anything else interesting to talk about? So yeah, the enemy AI, it's not AI, it's just a static script of how the enemy moves. The enemy is... the set speed of the enemy is slightly slower than you, which means that you are favored to win in any scenario. So I'm gonna quickly go through the credits here. Mario Kart GB, programmer me, pixel artist me, composer Paul Giacomucci. I don't want to mispronounce the name, but yeah, amazing composer. Highly recommend working with them. Of course, that's been in the description. Created in the program GB Studio, all characters, locations in the Mario IP owned by Nintendo, and Ana is awesome production. So, if you were to hit the return button, it would show you a secret screen that shows you a code, essentially a code that you can use to unlock something in each stage. But I'm not gonna hit return. If you want to see that, you're gonna have to play the game yourself. So yeah, in any case, that's my game, Mario Kart GB. Check it out if you want. There is more content that I have not showcased. No additional stages, but there is more content. Some stuff that you have not seen yet. So check it out if you want, if it looks fun. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I made this partially just so I could say that, like, on my YouTube channel that I have this. I don't really want to make, like, a trailer. I don't really care that much, but, like, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.